Alrighty then, welcome back to part 2 of the VOD. Also, just realising my mic is slightly topping out for everybody back at home, so we'll drop that just for a second, just so you don't have to hear me go all frickin' robotic on you. And we are back here for what is part 2 of the VOD for Farm4Fame. And for what everyone is here live for, it is going to be the action of Farm4Fame. We will go to speed 2 for this first part because we are a little bit behind at the moment, but it just appeared to be a bit of a WAG TV glitch through the game. Not quite sure what was causing that, but it has been all sorted, and we are moving smoothly across the map right now. So for all the people going, I can't see anything, all I saw was a white banner. And that's because I put the white banner up while I was fixing everything. So yes, game has gone off, foghorn's gone off, ping's going up, so they got a lord from the bottom, freaking King M. Will not stop that off. In case you also didn't know, if you weren't listening in before for the live, they have actually, all the MYM players have their basically accounts taken on RGC. So they need to actually fix that one up, but for the night they will be playing under aliases is the only way you can really put it. So we do actually have Demon as King D, Pusher will actually be basically King P, we will have Playmate, he is King B, and Jay is Milk, and God is Misery. Misery playing as our Storm Spirit, who was still up there on the top lane, still actually is now too. We are still going at 2 times the pace to actually catch up, so if you are feeling a little bit nauseous, just look away for the moment. Just listen to the sound of my voice. That will probably make you even more nauseous. But we will see how we go. Visage pulling on the bottom lane already, going for, looks like a double pull. No, just a couple of Centaurs, nothing really massive down there on the bottom lane. Hasn't managed to pick that one up just yet. Actually, no, there's Wolves in there too. It's a double pull. He managed to achieve that one. Bottom tri lane has come down, so Ogre Magi, Lich as well as Potom, going to go up against a NS, VS as well as Visage combo on that bottom lane. Already keeping a water back there behind the V. Wants to make sure they know exactly who is actually there at each time. Going to engage in the bottom lane. Magic Missile already on top of Lich. They want to try and push him back. Try and bring down Malk early on the piece. Incoming in range of the tower though. Navi will have to fall themselves back a little bit further. Got to be careful too. As when Ogre Magi hits level 6, those stuns on the back of the multicast, you've got to really be careful for that one. Just drops your health instantly. And if a Lich oldie follows off the back of that too, then basically you're considered to be a goner. Looks like Batrider having a bit of fun here with Puck, who's illusioning orb himself back into towards the mid. Their Dendai pops off a healing salve to try and keep himself alive for the moment, but Batrider able to keep up with him as well. Interesting to actually note that Puck does have that illusionary orb to basically just ethereal drawn himself away from trouble. But a big thing for it as well is the fact there is also the Firefly that can come out from Batrider. So actually moving away from Batrider, even if it's up and down the cliffs, is actually a very, very hard thing to actually do, because he'll just fly himself back over. It's like having a spectral dagger. It's actually impossible to escape him, because he'll just throw that out and he can go wherever he possibly wants. So we are 5 minutes and well, basically 10 seconds into the game so far. Still moving at speed 2. Checking up here on the top lane. Storm Spirit up to level 6 already. Clockwork Goblin, he's sitting up there at level 3 right now, so really shut down up there on the top. Still no first blood coming out. Looks like they're going to try and change this one around. Potom as well as Ogre Magi heading up with massive gusto in there towards the middle lane. A little bit more gusto than normal because we're going at 2 times the pace. But Puckett's going to be very, very careful to getting napalm, stunned over the top. Try to actually phase shift himself out. Can't ethereal jaunt because he gets held in place there by the Batrider oldie. So King M, it is it is actually not Milk. What the hell? Hang on, we're going to freaking King M. He's not supposed to be in there. Coming through. So it looks like they've actually changed their names around a little bit there. King J actually getting killed out here on the bottom lane with a double kill actually going out to Godblack down there on that bottom lane. Fighting back past the tower with VS and Visage, both teaming up to get those 2 boys down. And we will actually see Ogre Magi already respawn, ES and Potom down there on the bottom lane. Potom was the only one to actually survive that gank. And as far as like heroes you actually want to keep up here, probably Lich is one of the ones you probably want to keep up a little bit higher for this moment. Still haven't caught up live yet. Hopefully that won't be too far off. We were a little bit far behind the game. Looks like the next call is for GGC to be the next game. Looks like a couple of spikes coming through, so the player's not too happy with this one. So we'll be heading to Garena for our next one. But it is 2 kills to 1 right now, still trying to push out this bottom lane. Just literally tri-lane on tri-lane. Who's got the stronger one? Magic Missile goes over the top of there again. Running King Am, but who's actually TP'd in as Batrider running top. Tried to drop down the Yoli to hold him in place. He has burnt from the backside. Managed to pick up 2. They should be able to claim the 3rd, but he has fallen back too far. So Arts managed to actually move himself back down towards that tier 1 tower. But that's that power of Batrider. Goes for a little bit of a wander around. And that lasso holding the players in place, and Navi managed to find themselves just caught out of position there, and that's what Batrider's for. That's why he's such a great initiator, as well as Arts ripped on that bottom lane. He would have walked into the arrow if the Lich ulti, as well as like double stun coming out there from Ogamajai. Actually, not actually getting a complete double stun. It was just the normal stuns coming out from him. Multicast on up to level 6 yet. And basically, yeah, that's what you be careful of. There's a lot of damage that can come out. Now actually turn themselves around. King Am does manage to get munched down there on that bottom lane. There's nothing like a bit of void. We are into the night time as well. The time of day, or the time of night, we should probably actually call it. Not knocking out that bottom lane. VS just tanking that arrow for the team. Making sure that Balinar, the Night Stalker, can keep moving himself around right now. Still keeping pressure on this bottom lane. This is a good time for Navi to actually make the most of it. Puck coming in over the top. One to go for the lasso. Batrider. Arrow flies out. Manages to actually hit on top of VS, who gets brought down as well with Storm Spirit. He has left that top lane and come down towards that bottom lane. Double kill is what ensues from that. With God, it is a Misery claiming 2 of the lives for his team. And as trying to be a little bit more aggressive, using that ultimate, is able to actually just basically change the time of day to midnight. Not a bad thing as well. You will use that during midnight just to extend the midnight as well. Basically every single second you pop that off, unless you know you're going to be pushing in at a certain point. So it looks like Stream might slowly get itself down to speed 1. I say slowly, still haven't caught up here now. Oh, but Dendai caught on the wrong side of the river. He does actually have support there, but he was not ready for the massive stun that's going to come from Ogamajai. Clockwork Goblin drops down the cogs, just trying to do whatever he possibly can, but it's too late. There's already 4 heroes there from MYM, ready to gank it up. That makes it 3-A. The pings from Dendai just literally showing the path of where he shouldn't have got raped from. And now we are starting to lag up a little bit more, so I got a funny feeling that the stream coming out is not too good once we get to this point. So this save game comes out. It's just giving this weird sort of spike just coming out from it, which is not a cool thing. So we will actually go to speed 0. We'll give it a bit of time to actually buffer, and we'll just watch from speed 1. So obviously that's the main thing that's actually having issues. But we'll just take a bit of a moment to actually look at the CS scores as well as the item builds and what's coming out from them. Look at Misery at the moment. He's got 3 kills for basically no deaths, 1 assist. 58 for 30. 30 denies coming out on that top lane. That is why we saw the Puck so under-leveled. Level 8 Puck is actually sitting out, and he has been moving himself around into a couple of different lanes to be involved in ganks, but he has actually died 3 times from actually doing so. So he's at 35 for 13. Down towards the bottom lane, well, actually have King D, we should probably look at first. That he is at 45 for 9 right now. So we actually have D, M, B, J, as well as God. So basically everything bar P, which is supposed to be Pusher, so that's obviously King M. So Holy Master fails on code coming through. So 4 for 1, 7 for 1, that's what you'd actually expect from Ogamajai and Potom this early on, especially when MYM wants to play. They want to actually funnel most of their farm into 3 heroes, being King J, the Lich, Storm Spirit, as well as Batrider. As far as Navi actually goes, they wanted a lot more farm on Visage. He's actually only 5 for 3 right now, VS 4 for 3, so he's actually acting as more a support hero for Night Stalker on the bottom lane, who is up to a 34 for 1. Has died once, which is sending back 150 gold. Not massively bad. Has actually got the last hit in the tower, which is going to basically make up for that one. Clockwork Goblin, currently sitting for 23 for 3, got killed just before. We just saw that there in the Scourge neutral, so sitting at negative 0 for 1, which is not exactly what he wants to be. 35 for 13 comes out for Dendai as well, but that's those 3 deaths really going to hurt him. Alright, so we will go back to speed 1. Hopefully it'll all be smooth for us. In fact, it is too, so this is actually watchable, as opposed to just basically being laggy as all crap. Alright, Visage up with the Hedros Rejuvenation, trying to be that great support hero instead of like massive farm/carry later on to the game, tankable. I can't actually kill him kind of hero, which he can be later on in the game too. Just give him a bit of time and he can actually farm that up. Lich as well, had just rejuvenation, so it's like the race of the mechs. Who's going to get him first? Who got himself a blink dagger? That'll be Batrider pulling VS back right now, and King D wiped off just there. Dendai trying to fall himself back right now after the fact that he was actually getting chased down by Batrider, who is now getting hit by the Familiars. Lich ulti just bouncing off across the Familiars, just trying to slow them down. They go into their stone form, so the Gargoyle state. Batrider, Clockwork Goblin gets it right on top of him, still trying to fall himself back, illustrating all himself in, and Warring Rift's down. He's trying to catch on to King J right now, who gets caught inside the trees, does manage to actually get a frost off there on Dendai, making it very, very hard for him to stick around the tower, which is where all the Navi boys are right now. One is still down for the Scourge, but Balinar is on the job. Ogre Magi falling down. Batrider managed to actually buy back and came straight back into that battle. That's why it only looked like 2 of them actually went down, but Navi actually claimed 3 lives from that battle, so Navi looking very, very nice after pushing that tier 1 tower, making it 6-9 up on top of the board right now. So now Navi will have a big opportunity. They can push themselves forward a lot more, and this is going to be a big time for Navi to actually make a big dent. And now MYM have got all the heroes back up again. Did actually cost them a little bit more with Night Stalker actually. Not Night Stalker, with Batrider actually buying back. That's going to set him back a little bit further. He already has his Blink Dagger, so it wouldn't be too bad for him, in his eyes at least, for how that actually ended. King J coming down, wants to get denied on the tower, can't get it. Got to be careful he doesn't get too close to those Familiars to drop down, as Potom leaping himself up out of a little bit of danger that he was actually in, as he was on the wrong side of the creep wave. But MYM now mopping up the mess here in the middle lane. And Navi will be quite happy with that push. Going to help them up. Even 1,700 gold there, so the race for the mech will be over. Visage can actually complete building that one, actually have it all up and running. Or will he go for different items, just to start off with. Getting a little bit of boosted confidence after that little mid-push. 2 towers down the middle lane is definitely what they wanted to have. That's extra 200 gold for everybody on your team. As far as last hits on the towers go, both went to actually gold black as well. That's why his gold count is so high. So it's all on the back of the Visage. Setting up for a gank on the bottom lane now. We see a hasted Potom running himself down. Want to check there on Balinar. They know they're going to try to keep him shut down, especially during this daytime, as we are almost basically in the middle of the day right now. It's not something which generally affects, apart from sightlines, the shift between night and day, so it's generally not brought up a hell of a lot during matches. But with Night Stalker, it's obviously massively emphasised. He gets a lot stronger during the night time, and if you can gank him during the daytime, he basically takes double the amount of damage. So that's not an accurate stat. That's just what it generally seems like. He just goes down twice as fast. 6-9, pulling out the Jungle Stalkers. This is basically just a double pull right now too, because those creeps will not be able to make it back before the timer, or will they? Oh, that's Ogre Magi can't keep it. That's actually a bit of possibly a fail and double pull, but that's not the point. Back in towards middle lane, looks like King J and King D having a great old time. Batrider, we saw that Blink Dagger on him before, as I was talking about a little bit earlier on, the fact that that Blink Dagger on the Batrider doesn't allow him to be that great initiator. Combine him with a Vengeful Spirit, and you can literally catch an entire team. Even if they're in place, you can pull them all out of place. King J, with his ability to actually go on his Firefly on the back of the lasso, can pull people out of place, and Dendai completely out of place, sitting right on top of that top rune, actually with the lasso holding him in place to make sure that Dendai couldn't escape. And they do claim that life, so they'll be quite happy with that one. Actually, very, very happy with that. Just shutting down Dendai once again. There's no ability, no ability to actually farm while you're actually dead. Trying to get yourself towards that, what should be actually a Gwinsu for Puck, allowing him to actually just jump himself in, do a lot of damage, have the Hex up there too, so he actually has a little bit more time for everything to come on to off cooldown. So we were talking about his Illusionary Orb, the Warring Rift as well. Can literally double nuke a hero. And of course you get the regen as well from that, so it all goes towards it. Top lane, Storm Spirit having a great time pushing the tier 2 tower. Ulti pops off from Balinar, wants to try and chase down Storm Spirit, who uses his ulti and all of his mana to get himself away here. Clockwork Goblin actually hooking himself to a creep wave, trying to get up a little bit closer. Even then he was actually banking on the fact that he'd actually get himself there to get that hit with the rocket flying in just after him. Wasn't to be though. Storm Spirit actually TP'd himself back towards the main base. So now top lane push will actually come through. We are approaching the night time. And this is when Arts is going to be his great time. So you've got to do a lot more damage. You've got to take out another two tier 2 towers. Well, no, the Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower being the top lane. Now, as we do enter into a little bit a while for night, but they have more than enough damage just by themselves to take out this Tier 1 tower on top. And now they will attack the creep wave and move themselves through. This is their goal. Tier 2 tower, take control of the neutrals, or is it? Will they? Visage is going to stick around, but looks like VS going back to actually pick up a scroll of TP, just so they can actually defend this mid lane as King D is there, ready to push out. Storm Spirit as well, going to demolish off this creep wave before they actually go through. Bottom lane also being pressured by MYM, so pressuring on multiple fronts. So can Ogre, Magi and Potom being pressuring the bottom. Lich and Batrider ready to go here in the mid lane. VS, where has he just run himself off to as well? Top lane push, there goes VS, just TPing down. Bottom lane is where they actually want to be. Clockwork Goblin on very, very low HP right now, and that is just because Ogre Magi does so much damage. Good to see Arcane Boots coming out from him as well, just being a team player. Not to mention he does also have that ability to give himself that extra mana. Does give himself extra movement speed as well, just like King D having a little bit of trouble. But extra movement speed does let him get into great positioning to get those, the word I'm currently looking for is stuns. As I'm going to drink a little bit more Red Bull to keep myself awake at this time of the morning. But we do actually have a pause game coming out from it here. So looks like we're having a little bit of trouble with latency and spiking. So pings actually have gone through. We'll just have a bit of a perusal of the CS board while we're in this position right now. First person actually crack 100 at the 18-minute mark and 45 seconds. In fact, it's 100 on the dot. It is Misery playing as our Storm Spirit. He has also got 3 kills, so managed to claim 705 gold from actually doing so as well. 32 denies. He hasn't really got any more denies since that start of the game, but that just gave him that extra early level advantage up against the Puck, who went down to, well, he's actually still only sitting at level 10, but Misery being a full 2 levels ahead of anybody on the Navi side. We do actually have on the Navi side, even King D, he's actually sitting on level 11 as... Thought they were about to go. I saw the go 3-1 and then the pause, just MYM not able to communicate to themselves, who actually resumes the game. Puckalootra being across the mid lane there. Looks like Storm Spirit's in a lot of trouble. In fact, Misery does get ganked out there in the middle lane with Balinar coming through. He wants to try and slow down King J, who's currently on the retreat. Will Melk actually be able to get himself out of here. Batrider coming in for a bit of support. Napalm goes off. King J still being caught up a little bit higher. Puck thinking he was going to go up a little bit higher. Did Ether Jaunt towards the high ground, but doesn't matter. Actually cut off his retreat up that way. And that does claim a double kill there in the middle lane. So 2 down for the Scourge. Once again, MYM being in a vulnerable position. In saying that, we're now going to see this bottom tier 1 tower. Should be pressured enough. Big rocket. That's probably a very, very good discouraging rocket being fired from all the way back at the base. That will actually force the Scourge heroes to pull themselves back, especially with Night Stalker running himself down right now through the river. TP instantly coming out there from Potom. And we do see Ogre Magi also TPing back towards the main base. MYM on the back foot a hell of a lot. Even though the kill count does have an 8 to 10, they just lost those last 2. Well, actually, I can't really say team fights. It's more than being ganked out. Just being caught out of position, going, yeah, we should be fine here. Losing 2 heroes, and then they get pressured on all their lanes. And this is what's going to happen up here on the top lane too. As you see Night Stalker heading up there towards the top. So it's all about just munching on those on that creep wave, get as much farm as he possibly can, and push this tier 2 tower. All Scourge heroes are back up again. As we just see Misery just cleaning out that middle lane. Bottom lane, they really want that tier 1 tower down. King B and his playmate on that bottom lane, just trying to push that tier 1 tower as far as he possibly can. Not to mention he's also getting basically a good farm down there at the moment. Clockwork Goblin making sure it's not completely free farming. It's more just keeping that pressure on him as much as he can. Got to be careful though. King B would love to actually throw a Starfall down top of his ass. Clockwork Goblin still hanging around, waiting for the support to actually come through. Looks like support's going to come towards the middle lane as King M caught at the moment. Void goes off. He doesn't have a stun to come over the top, but Dendai does have an illusory orb fly right over the top of his head. Visage was coming in for support as well. Godblack being on the front lines as always. Needs to be as well with that mech. But MYM will now have a go at the bottom lane. Batrider going to come in, going to look for the ping. Storm Spirit comes in. 1 hit, 2 hit. Firefly over the top. Will he outlasso as well? Probably not much reason for Clockwork Goblin. I guess he doesn't have that escape mechanism, just like like Puck actually does. Balinar now heading down towards that bottom lane. Manages to actually catch Misery, try and TP himself out. Now Aldi's himself a little bit further away. Balinar wants to try and keep up. Will the Void be coming through? As still Storm Spirit, no matter whatsoever, running himself back out, but it's not far enough. Arceus there just basically sucks the life from him, and using that time to actually TP out. We do actually see the Potom ulti that went off, allowing King D to actually escape as well. So 10 to 11 is where we currently sit. MYM looking very, very shaky. Navi looking very, very strong right now. They're ganking, they're manoeuvring around the map. It's been absolutely perfect. They know where to go. MYM had it very, very early on in the piece. It's like, we know exactly what we want to do. Focus fire on down. And that is how they got the kill advantage to start with. But now, Navi, you kind of expected around this time, though. This is when Balinar does come into his element as well. Later on in the game, he needs to actually have a great start to basically dominate later on in the game. Has to make the most this night time as well, whereas we are literally sitting at midnight on top of the Dota clock, if we could have one of those. It is actually there in the middle of the top of the map. Potom now coming in, give a bit of a hand on the bottom lane as King J just forced back a little bit further. Just getting knocked off here as we already see King J going down. Batrider tried to actually put out a bit of a lasso on top of Balinar, but it's not going to be enough. That's already 2 down for MYM. Big Sun's going right on top of Puck right there, and in jumps Misery, doing whatever damage he can. He's managed to pick up Puck so far. Lost Ogre Magi in the process, and had to jump himself back a little bit further. Another buyback from Batrider. It's the second one for the game, and already Balinar jumps himself right in over the top. Clockwork Goblin holding Storm Spirit in place with those cogs. Potom trying to fall himself back, will have to go for the regen, and King D will more than likely die once again, being held in place. Visage just dropping those Revenants from the high ground and drop themselves down. Sorry, Familiars. They used to be known as Revenants, now they're Familiars, and getting that stun off. So it's 15 to 12, 4 heroes down, and now Misery trying to be cheeky, trying to jump right on top of that Vengeful Spirit. Was not able to get it. There goes the tier 2 tower in that bottom lane as well. TP going out from Clockwork Goblin, going to get himself back in towards the other lanes and try and push them out here. Save game coming out from our admins. 15 to 12 is currently where we're sitting, and Misery just being a bit of a screw you. Come on, that kill was mine. Why'd you hold me back? But Night Stalker, he is so powerful at night. The only downside is they're going to have to wait a little bit longer before they can do anything else. But Night Stalker, you see that again. The ultimate just popping off, and it's just buying a little bit of time. Like, as far as, like, initiating, it's not massive. It's probably just the trailing off as well of when they're retreating out. But it extends to the night time. So that's exactly what he wants to do. Have a little bit more time. He can farm himself up a little bit more now. Obviously, time does not stop at midnight all the time. So MYM just having a bit of a... having a little bit of trouble. So can load player host or something. But I'm pretty sure he can stop saving. Looks like we're having a little bit of issues with RGC. I believe there's actually a reconnect feature inside the client itself. So saving is actually not really an issue because you should be able to get yourself back into the game. I believe that's actually the main reason why RGC is being used. So now we're going back into the normal progression of time. So a couple more hours and we'll be back in towards the daytime cycle. And Balinar does lose his strength, but then again, he has managed to farm himself up a Hood of Defiance, as well as a Vanguard so far. Strength traits on top of him, just keeping himself up at 1800 HP. Does make him very, very strong, and just pulls King B off to the side for just a moment. And now getting stunned, Ogre Magi throws down the Molotov right on top of his head. Puck wants to come in right over the top as well. Ethereal joining himself. No, he doesn't decide to. Decides just one simple orb over the top will be enough. Now in comes Batrider, blinks himself in, and wants to actually pull out Balinar. It's not going to be enough. King J pops off the oldie, wants to bounce around. It has done so successfully, but now actually gets caught between the two Familiars, and you can't kill them while they're in Stonefall. But Balinar quite happy to run himself straight back into that one. King J already going down, and once again MYM not able to capitalize on any sort of initiation. Don't actually have the power to bring him down. One big arrow though does manage to actually hit on top of Dendai, who cops a lot of damage from that one, but there is no support. Well, he actually has a lot of support, but MYM no support to actually come back in and try and finish that kill off. Sad thing is, a leap and a starfall would have been enough, but it would have been suicide for the Potom to actually do. But with Scourge having a couple of heroes down, it's a little bit too much to go for. Vanguard now completed on the Clockwork Goblin. 25 minutes for him. Points booster also sitting in the bank. Dust for Visage, making sure no one... Oh, what a hook. What a hook. What an arrow now coming through. King M tries to turn around and got a lot of stun damage coming over the top. And now just trying to bring down the retreating Clockwork Goblin. Batrider wanted to blink in on top, but there's so many nukes coming out from Visage as well as his familiars. And it is going to be too much. Lich now turning around. Familiars actually going into stone form. This is not what he actually wanted right now. He needs those to actually give him a bit of support. He used to actually knock out the creep wave. But Goblak actually going down, hunting from MYM and trying to get some sort of control back in this game and try and shut down these heroes at all. As I hear a Storm Spirit Oldie just popping off for just a moment. Looks like having now a bit of fun on Roshan. They should be able to bring him down. Mech actually not popping off. It's only the Buckler right now. King J not having the extra 900 gold to actually complete that one off. They have been spotted though, and they will fall themselves back. There's a Navi ward watching that Roshan pit. But they do move themselves back out of that lane. King D TPing himself back out. Balinar has to move himself a little bit faster. In that middle lane, wants to get the gank off from King M. Puck comes in. Dendai instantly pulled. Big burst damage coming out there from Misery. Really wants the kill. Really gets the kill as well. Dendai does go down on the side. God managed to claim his life. I mean, Arts on a King M. Now arrow flying out from bottom. Was hoping for a lucky hit there on Arts. Will not actually get it now. The push will come in towards this middle lane. Bottom there on the front lines. Starfall goes off. There goes the lasso. Try and hold Arts in place. Balinar now being try and swap, but VS is now caught in a little bit too closer as well. Really trying to fall himself back. Lich ulti does bounce himself around on top of the creep wave. Support has come in. Familiar's riding over the top right now. Storm Spirit Misery has to fall back in once again towards the main base. Same with Potom leaping himself in. King B doesn't want to get caught out. Bullying Dagger as well from the Firefly. Not even want to waste time to actually go up the hill. Batrider gets himself back inside the main base as fast as he possibly can. 17 for 4. That was a good engagement there by MYM. A couple of kills going their way. And even though they didn't manage to bring down Balinar, they're still going to make him think twice about it. But even then, a big point for Balinar. Now we actually do hit the daytime. If that was daytime, he would have been dead a long time ago. But he knows now that if he does try and go this at the night time, it's going to be too much for him. He can't really go that much. And MYM will be able to drop him like a sack of potatoes. So 4 heroes now grouping up here in the middle lane. There's that Lich armor I was telling you about before. Giving that stability to the side. There's actually intelligence here. I do apologise for the first part of this game when I actually said, nah, Ogre Machine, I'm pretty sure he's strength. He's an ogre. He's a big fat bastard. He's got layers of skin. He doesn't need strength. He just has intel that goes from it. Balinar ulti now popping off. Anytime is night time for Night Stalker. Strike, Captain Crunch of the world. But Night Stalker should be able to pop up to level 16, which will actually reduce that cooldown as well. Pretty sure Aghanims actually extends the time of night as well on top of Balinar. And we will actually see that rotation down towards that bottom lane for him. Only one tier 2 tower still up. Fair enough for our MYM. As far as towers actually go, they've only managed to actually claim 2 of them, and they might make the most of this night time. Coming in on top of the Roshan pit, the ping already went off here by Razor God, so Misery knows something is up right now. In comes the burst from our Batrider. So the plot is foiled. As Puck blinks himself up, trying to catch off anyone that possibly can. King D retreating themselves out. The whole thing of actually knowing they're going for Roshan is more than enough. Clockwork Goblin tried to go on top of Ogre Magi. Storm Spirit jumped in over the top, then had to jump himself straight back out again with Misery coming through. Great Lich ulti right on top of Clockwork Goblin, as well as the phase shifted Potom. That's Puck as well. Now he's trying to get himself back out. Potom dropping on the Starfall, being hauled in place here by the Puck ulti. Dendai is the only one to take a fall right now. Ogre Magi buying himself back, wants to try and come down. Lich takes the fall too, with Lich trying to move himself back. Not able to actually survive up towards the top lane, but it is Misery jumping himself in, trying to get whatever kills that pops he can. Big blast coming in on top of Potom. Art's trying to fall himself back right now, but not going to happen with the lasso there from Batrider. Right on top, Arrow not able to hold him in place for that one, but Ogre Magi will come in to drop down a couple of cocktails, and that fire does burn a lot more there with the freaking napalm being thrown right on top of him, and King M and Arts both going down right now, so casualties from both sides, still buybacks coming out as well, and Batrider's just trying to stay on top of this Visage, who's retreating himself back out again. Starfall on top, they will go for the pull. There is a pull. Misery holding in place. A lot of burst damage. Killing spree. Double kill comes out for the big man, King D. It is Demon getting to now making it 20 to 18. No more buybacks at all. We'll go a little bit more quiet, but now MYM will try and gain control of this map back again, if they possibly can. Or are we going to see a Roshan attempt? We are going to see a Roshan attempt. Illusion has been picked up. Who's going to take it for? We're going to throw the Illusions on the front lines here for the moment to try and tank up Roshan. And, wow, so many battles been happening over Roshan. Clockwork Goblin throws in the rockets. They know everything is happening. As Puck is thinking about going in, he's already TP'd himself into that Tier 1 tower, which is still up, so they have that point on that top. Knowing that a lot is up, and in comes another rocket, will actually expose the empty pit. In fact, actually, the rocket flying up high to keep tabs on the retreating MYM, already knowing after they would discover that they would not stick around. 31-24, 20-18, nice close game. That's what you'd actually expect from a Farm4Fame Grand Final. This is a 3.1 cup. There are more to come. 3.2 already started off as well. A lot of matches already kicking off from that one. King D really not being happy right now, as you can see that coming up in the chat. Clockwork Goblin, Visage, Puck, VS, all ready to push out this middle lane. Gonna get rid of that Scourge Wave first. Balinar pops off the nighttime. Ready to have a bit of a crack, and instantly you see MYM going, you know what, Oldie's up. Not worth us initiating, especially when you got all 5 of the Navi boys ready to fight there in the mid lane. Or do they? No, Puck goes up to check out the rune. Looks like the rune does actually spawn on that bottom lane in Viz rune. And we'll see VS run himself down there to pick that one up. Or are we going to see Roshan once again? With that ultimate up, they can make the most of this time too. So they will go back into Roshan, still sitting at 2/3 HP. This is the 4th attempt for Roshan this game. Firefly wants to go for it. Roshan once again now being discovered that Navi going for a VS, swaps up, manages to actually bring up one of the boys. That is not what he wanted. Managed to actually burst fire down, but Clockwork Goblin will want the flied Bat Rider, who is now trying to drag Clockwork Goblin back out. Puck ulti, holding Lich in place. King J does go down, but not before he lets off his ulti, really bouncing around those Navi boys, doing a lot of damage. Misery claiming Answer's life. Should be able to get Clockwork Goblin on the back of this too, holding himself across, and now Bat Rider holds Visage in place. One great time for the lasso, makes it a triple kill for Misery, playing under the name of God. He wishes to have the finger of death coming from the heavens, and that is 4 down for the Sentinel side. 1 casualty for the Scourge from that one, and this will actually mean a Roshan will come from this. And wow, that is one big battle for MYM to win, only just putting their noses in front again for this big battle, for this Farm4Fame final. This is a best of 3, so this is only going to be the first match, but still, this first match, if this is the tale of things to come, wow, should be absolutely great for later on. Puck, oh, Dendai, a little bit too close. You got to know that Oldie is going to get yourself out there, or will the Starfall try to actually get on the last one? Wasn't enough. Puck blinking, then just basically illusioning all of himself out here. Another TP will come down. Roshan is still not dead yet. He's on very, very low HP, but they need to finish him off. And now MYM, can they actually finish him off in time? We don't know. Clockwork Goblin might actually try and ult himself in right now. Misery can't stick around. Rocket goes off, drops his health HP in, and now Lich will come up as well. Big stuns right on top. Can they bring down Clockwork Goblin? He's in well over his head. Now VS saving his life, but Puck comes in over the top. Big Warring Rift. Oldie as well. Managed to get the stun there on the treating Ogre Magi as well as Lich. Potom comes in with a good arrow holding holding the rocket. The rocket pops off holding the Clockwork Goblin back there, but God's streak was ended. That's the bigger problem right now. Ogre Magi getting done there in the corner with VS coming in with the magic missile, but the illusionary orb was what finished it off. The Misery is back, or is he? Is he? He's already got 1 right now, claiming off King M's life. And now Clockwork Goblin does cog himself right towards mid there, try and get Bat Rider off. All crap is hitting the fan right now with MYM just trying to push. And look at God, Misery's on the front line. Lich Oldie bouncing off again. They managed to split themselves up, but not before the damage is done. King J, just so much freaking damage that comes out from that Lich ultimate, and they managed to catch Visage running himself around the trees, and will get pulled back in by the God, by Misery, and God Black does actually get finished there by King D. And now they go back for Roshan again. With 4 heroes down for the Sentinel side, 20 seconds before they'll actually get most of them back. 40 seconds as the latest. That is for a yellow boy in yellow to come back. But still 25-26, that entire engagement. But still actually left everything at the same amount of kills. It was 1 death before that started. It is still just 1 death separating these 2 teams. And these familiars might even try and drop at the wrong time. They've got to try and kill off these familiars before they actually just causing a lot of issues around Roshan. Still dropping from the skies, getting that stun on top of Roshan as well as the heroes. And we will see Roshan take a fall. Aegis Immortal does go down, and it is killed by the Scourge. With those familiars there, it was just impending doom of possibly going to lose them. And he actually just lost one there. But more importantly, possibly losing Roshan. Oh, Potom leaves himself out, does get stunned from doing so. Clockwork Goblin can't actually reach him to get the damage off. Little pops actually coming off from the rockets on the back of his host, on the freaking host. That's his name. He's glitching himself up as Good Lasso, holding the Clockwork Goblin in place. Balinar is back. Night time is up, and he'll be looking for blood right now. Storm Spirit's on the front lines. He's looking for more blood, trying to get the retreating Puck or whoever. Visage comes in closer, but Balinar is there, and Misery's got to be careful. Lincoln Sphere is on top, and there goes the big stuff from Ogre trying to buy a little bit of time for Misery to actually get a little bit of regen up. He's only got 500 mana right now. That is not a hell of a lot for a Storm Spirit to be completely effective during these fights. Balinar does get himself up. King J goes down. Gold Black actually gets the last hit in that one, so Visage claiming that one. Potom now trying to retreat himself back there, making it bloody obvious which one's the real one. Popping up the Manta Star and just leaving his illusions back there to actually take off the rest of it. Now King B will actually go down. Big Warring Rift and Big Blast comes right over the top. The last hit actually goes to Visage. Not to Visage, actually went to our VS of all people. But it does make it 27-27. 2 heroes for the Scourge pushing up the daisies. Top lane pushing him very, very hard though onto that tier 3 tower. First tier 3 tower to actually cop a little bit of damage. And on duty for defense will be our Clockwork Goblin. Ogre Magi just having a bit of fun there on the bottom lane. As MYM just settling the calm after the storm. We'll see how we've been going through all the kills after those epic in battle. So 27-27 is where we sit. Big person to look out for is Misery, sitting at level 20 now for him. 171 for 172 for 38 now. But the 10 kills, 3 deaths and 9 assists is the biggest thing. So he's actually managed to lose 1,300 gold from his deaths, but has claimed 2,600 from it as well. So that is the better way of actually going. Lincoln Sphere and Ultimate Orb up on top of him. More than likely you'll see him actually complete up with a, what I'm going to guess will be a Skadi or a Sheep Stick. He does generally, we do see a preferred Gwinsu. Just depends if he wants to pump out that damage and really just become one of those stalker heroes around the place. As it goes for the rest of his team, 107 for 1 being King B up with a Manta Style, as well as 2 Blazer trying to complete that Diffusal as fast as he possibly can. King D hasn't really changed much since he actually got that Blink Dagger. Vanguard has come up. His 94 for 9 creeps, that's going to help that. His 4 deaths not really helping that, but he has managed to get 2,300 gold, almost actually 2,400, just 5 gold off it from all his kills. As far as the gold loss goes, it's 1,100 for him. And by the way, guys, don't fear, I am watching the mini-map pretty closely. You see Balinar actually going into the Scourge, just going for a bit of a hunt. Balinar himself is 97 for 2. 5 kills, 4 deaths, and 15 assists. That's the biggest thing right now. Lich getting caught out. Potomoldi instantly going off, trying to cash out a King J. Blink from Batrider, right under the top. But Storm Spirit jumps in on top. He wants to try and bring down Dendai, who has dropped down his ulti right in the middle of this. Dust goes off, wants to catch everybody out. Cogs, they're fighting right in the middle of them. Oh, crap, has hit the fan. Familiar throwing from the skies as well, trying to stop Misery from doing the damage to the Balinar, who's trying to fall himself back right now. Batrider does pop into a million pieces, but so does now Balinar, trying to retrieve himself back, and wow, just so much damage. Clockwork Goblin also getting caught out. Misery got to be careful. Very, very low HP, but that's why he has Nagus the Immortal. He's going to stick himself alive. Ogre Magi still dropping down those stuns. Wants to get right on top, and what a great follow-up arrow there from Potom. Gives everything he needs for Misery to get that last hit. They'll pick up the last hero that was around there. That is Gold Black, as we do actually see our Vengeful Spirit a long, long way away. Balinar still fighting in the middle there. Another pause coming out from both the teams. Not quite sure what actually happened for them during that one, but that was one hell of a fight. Just getting caught out of position, 31-30. There's still only 1 kill the difference during that fight. That is the amazing thing to actually come out from that. The fact that all crap was hitting the fan. Clockwork Goblin wanted a place to push his cogs in. MYM was split up, but then again, so were his team. I'm talking about Navi right now, because they had to split themselves up when all the MYM guys went off, and they could not find a way to actually initiate on one hero themselves. And that was a mess. That was an absolute scramble of a mess. Still pause game up, so both teams just a little bit cautious about it. But while that's actually happening, we have a little bit closer look at Navi at the moment. 10 kills for Dendai, 8 deaths though. He's got 2,800 gold for his kill efforts, but 2,200 gold he's actually lost. He has got a Blink Dagger as well as an Ultimate Orb, but it should be basically a hell of a lot more than that. A lot of deaths on the back of him right now. And as far as kills actually go, Gold Black's got the most of it, but even then he's got 6 deaths as well. a lot of the deaths are shared around the place. If you jump yourself over towards the MYM side, the deaths are all on Ogre Magi as well as King J. King J with 9 deaths, 10 deaths for King M. King M, yeah, we're still not quite sure who he is. He's changed his name and the code doesn't quite work. But as far as the big carries go, Misery, he's sitting there as 12 for 3 right now. So he's happy as Larry. 9 for 5 on Batrider, not too bad, but the 15 assists he's been involved in. In fact, all of the MYM have mass amounts of assists. But as far as like who gets the kills, it's greatly stacked, especially of this big guy. He's managed to actually complete his Gwinsu right now. He does spot Arts there on the top lane. Arrow flies off. He was hoping Arts might actually try and pursue that one a little bit longer. But with Storm Spirit ulting over the top. Realise that falling back will probably be a better thing for now. Down towards the bottom lane. Creep Wave will just push itself naturally out. Puck comes over the top. Going to bottle up that Invis rune. A little bit of chance to escape if things get very, very bad. It looks like all of MYM just buying themselves up a little bit more. Interesting. Planeswalker's Cloak is actually coming up right now. Puck waiting in the middle there with NS. Save game coming out from the players.
The town is under siege.
So now into towards the middle. B equals boss is the call. Nice. Well done. Well done. Obviously, everyone likes to have fun with different names. Moving up inside their neutrals now, MYM, sensing that someone is actually hanging around, but they're not. They're all there in the middle lane. It's all on top of... so there goes the blink in. Arrow to follow it up right now. Puck actually tanking that one. He must have a Lincoln Sphere on top of him or something along those lines. Puck holding, dropping on down. Lich, does he pop off his just yet? King J comes in right on top of Lich. Tries to hold him in place. Does hold him in place for the moment. King J is surviving a hell of a lot longer than I thought he would. Clockwork Goblin getting burst fired down. VS swapping out heroes left, right and centre, while Stormspur is just buzzing himself around over the top. We'll be able to bring down VS, picking up the support heroes and then jumping himself back out again. He is dusted right now, so the bottom ult, he didn't actually do anything. And big blast damage coming out there from Dendai. Try and make the most of it. Now Dendai in a little bit of trouble, illusioning all of himself back over the top, back in towards his main team here. And there's a blink coming out from Batrider, trying to get himself out a little bit out of range. God, will he TP? Will he have time? Will Misery get himself out? No, he doesn't. There's a big Roaring Rift to come out, but it's not actually that. It was actually the nuke from Got Black. They actually got the last hit there, so Misery's dominating streak is ended. And once again, the scores lock up at 33-33 apiece. Very close for both teams right now. Arrow flies out in that middle lane. Look for the Starfall. Will it come down? Got to get a little bit closer. What massive damage actually coming out there from the Manta-style diffusal bladed Potom. Almost no mana left for Visage after that. Still Malinar farming up that top, 1,200 gold on top of him. Can't actually get more up now. Batrider trying to get that Hood of Defiance completed on top of his Vanguard. Generally an item which you see Batrider go first and then pick up the Blink Dagger. In this case, Vanguard was his first item. Having a bit of a look around, wants to see if Clockwork Goblin's anywhere near him. Clockwork Goblin with a chainmail up, so possible going Assault Cuirass. There's trying to think of, actually, that's the only option coming to mind now, considering he's already got treads. Lich just planning down those wars. They want high ground vision, just keeping tabs at the moment. MYM got control of, well, basically vision of the bottom rune, as well as, I think they've also got it at the top. No, Navi's actually got the ward up there, watching out that top lane. Bottom lane, Potom's still free farming right now, up to 2,200 gold. About to be a hell of a lot more with the Manta style popping off, so easy to keep up there. Bit of a Django on top, so extra movement speed for everybody. VS, all about that aura stack. Balinar ready to push out this top tier 2 tower. Using his ultimate to do so as well. The time is locked at midnight. Once again, we see Smoke at a Seat coming out from the MYM side. And they'll push this tier 2 tower down very fast. Funnily enough, with all the heroes around there, not able to claim a last hit on the tower. 33 for 33 is where we still sit in the kill count board. Potter wants to come out a little bit further. Still got the smoke on top of Lich now. Lich deciding that he's still going to patch the smoke, not even going off. Cast that spell, and it still doesn't actually trigger the smoke. You know he's there. This invisible thing just casts off a Frost Nova. Yeah, something is there. Pretty sure something's there. But top lane will get rolled off a little bit further. Storm Spirit up to 2,000 gold farmed up as well, enough for a buyback. This is the new version too, so 4-minute cooldown on that buyback. Ping's coming on down towards the secret shop. They realise that Roshan will not be far off, actually coming back up alive again. It's like Puck pops off that illusion rune, so ready to push out this mid lane. Maybe Navi think the 44 minutes of this game is going to be the time to actually go. That is one big bloodlusted lich right now. Waiting to come in towards the middle, but Rocket has actually exposed absolutely everything just there. Even a bit of a blast, the fire blast coming out there from Batrider. Batrider tries to loop himself in there. Could not actually get the lasso off in time. Lich still in a little bit of trouble right now. Bounce off his ulti. That ulti is in perfect position right now. Hits right on top of Puck and manages to wipe out King J early on. Lich was called out of position. That was always going to do the damage. Clockwork Goblin caught inside his own cogs right now. Will get himself out a little bit further there. Batrider on very low HP. Trying to hold Balnar in place right now, but they're fighting within the night time. So Balnar is definitely with his time for strength here. Bottom can't do enough damage right now. And MYM have just lost 3 for 1. This is not what they want to end up being. Misery's coming back in again, trying to get the last hit, but he can't get it. He will actually die now. VS gets the swap. Trying to bring anyone back in again. Potom throws down the arrow, but 4 heroes down for MYM. This will be the big time to actually push out right now. We're still in the middle of the time of Art's ulti, so it is midnight for the moment. Storm Spirit does buy back, so might look for a bit of a cheeky kill to see if he can actually pick up anybody right now. Potom is still on the front lines. Pulls the creep wave back. Limp should now fire off, just buying him a little bit more time. A bit more time to actually wait for it, but Storm Spirit wants to go in for the moment. He will not. Tower's still getting harassed down. Balinard's just tanking out Potom, doesn't even care right now. He wants the racks. Interesting enough, he actually goes for the range racks to start with. Must have something against that. Melee racks are getting a little bit close to Potom. Arrow goes off. Now goes Potom's Manta style and has to leave himself back out of here, but he can't stop that. He was doing every possible he could to stop that mid racks going down, but MYM will lose it. Nothing will stop that. And looks like Storm Spirit going for a bit of a hunt. We'll find absolutely nothing though. Basically, with the massive retreat that has actually come back from Navi, they've already claimed exactly what they wanted to. And Storm Spirit just missing on that ulti thing. Just actually want to clean out the trees a little bit there to get a bit of vision of Roshan. Leaves a copy of himself just to watch over Roshan. Rocket firing off. In fact, even now, Clockwork Goblin is thinking that MYM are thinking about going for it. His Rocket just a little bit off time. As King J just dropping down the ward, keeping tabs. There's a regen rune down there. No other ward actually watching this at the moment. Leaving it all to the Rocket, and there goes a Rocket over the top. Just spots Potom moving in towards that middle lane. A bloodlusted Potom as well. Makes him basically freaking big. Like to see what happened when he had a bloodlust as well as BKB on top of him. How big can you make that Potom? Batrider getting called off once again, thinking about coming in towards that Roshan pit, so we might see this bit of a Mexican standoff just around Roshan. As always, a very critical part of Dota. Get that Aegis Immortal and you can literally, well, it would guarantee Navi the ability to push themselves in and basically take that second Rax, which at this point will make it GG. If that second Rax goes down, MYM, they'll be well out of their depth to actually come back from this one. As now we see Arts trying to push the moment right now. Still fighting within the middle of this ultimate of his, keeping it all at night time. Extending this night time out. Potom leaping himself back out. MYM realise they're in over their heads. The only way they can try and win this is by pick one hero off, catch them out of position, and then you can go for it. But Navi not leaving any real chink in their armour. Apart from Goblike just doing that, but he did just buy up a pipe as well as a mech, so as far as a hero that you'd actually want to have ganked on your side, that would be one. Now we see the smoke and seat popping off. They want to try and bring themselves down. Arrow flies out, does manage to hit on top of Dendai. They will have to protect him. Batrider comes in, lassos, pulls him a long way away. Pipe goes off, will buy them time, but the Lich ulti does bounce off as well, right in the middle of Navi's side right now. They have lost already one for the Scourge, not what they wanted to happen. Already God, Misery, the big man, the big damage dealer is down. Potom will manage to actually claim down VS, retreating down, but that's not the best hero. He's only a support hero. You need the rest of their team. Dendai, there you go. Puck goes down. King D also dying in the process, so 2 down from either side. keeping it very, very balanced. Ballinar trying to hunt on top of King J right now. Ogmajai also trying to fall himself back here. If he can get the stun on top of Ballinar, who is now slowed down. King J, Frost goes off. He will die from here. Big, big arrow right in front of Art's face. Now Clockwork Goblin as well. He decided to overgo Ogmajai. Probably not the best thing is the Blade Mail popping off from, that's from Clockwork Goblin. That is way too good. That's what that chainmail was for. It was all for the Blade Mail. And there goes the Starfall. Down 3 heroes down for the Scourge. Still possible to defend, but not possible to stop him from going for Roshan. MYM will now have to face an Aegis Immortal. A push to come through. Aghanim Scepter, Hood of Defiance and Vanguard. The boys in chat were saying before, Aghanim Scepter, if you actually want to, they actually clarified for me as well, thank you very much. It was the extra vision you actually get from the Aghanim Scepter. Basically unrestricted sight for Night Stalker. So Navi, they're only one step away from making it 1-0 here and to become the top of the Farm4Famers. Potom wants to come back in again, might be able to get this last hit on top of Roshan. Or will they? Starfall goes down, she's going to deal with the rest of it, and there goes Magic Stick being dropped on the ground, and Aegis Immortal's now on top of Night Stalker, so you've got to deal with him twice over. And Night Stalker is one of those heroes where his ultimate, his abilities, they aren't the main thing. He will literally just hunt you most of the time, and even then you'll have the massive regen that will come out from Night Stalker once that Aegis Immortal pops off, and you literally have to face him twice. So the most powerful hero for Navi, they're literally facing it twice. So this is not going to be very, very nice here for MYM unless they can get a great initiation off here. Big problem for MYM during that last battle was the fact that Misery died so hard. He is one of those guys that needs to jump in though. He needed to jump in towards that fight. What he did not need to jump into was the entire Navi side. Need to pick them off. Need to pick off one hero on the side and just take out all the supports and then just try and go for the main guys. Problem is you have Night Stalker carving everybody else up, so he becomes like a big target as well without him being dead. If you bring down Night Stalker, then the battle goes completely differently. Same for Storm Spirit. So they're literally the two big key heroes from both sides. 3,000 gold for Night Stalker right now. Might even, after he completes up that Aegis Immortal, go up for a little bit more damage. Sometimes you can see SMYs, Barizias, whatever you actually want. The world is your oyster. Raw goes off on the middle lane. Night Stalker ulti once again. Freaking cooldown is so damn low. We've played most of this time in the night time. Look, he just run straight inside the main base. Looks like Navi might want to just finish this one going in straight through the front door. Now they can rotate themselves down towards the tower. They've got more than enough to actually tank up everything they possibly want. I'm talking about the tier 3 towers. They might rotate themselves down or they might just push themselves straight towards the tier 4 towers. That's exactly where Night Stalker wants to go right now. Potom's there on the front lines, and yes, Navi do wish to end this now. They should be able to as well. Arrow flies out, Clockwork Goblin taking it for the team. Glimp pops off, Raw goes out as well. And really, MYM, there's nothing they can do but sit at base right now. Night Stalker will rip through the tier 4 towers and take out this game in a very convincing fashion. They will want to go for it. Blink does come out from our Bat Rider. Storm Spirit jumps in over the top. Pipe goes off. He is trying to do whatever he possibly can. Gwyn swinging up Puck, but that pipe is more than enough to keep this team alive. Clockwork Goblin now holding in place Potom. He can't leap away just yet. Now manages to actually leap away. Pops the cogs as well. Via's actually dying already at the moment, so MYM actually a half-successful defense right now. Ballinar also trying to resume himself back out again. Will get called off, but the Aegis Immortal will finally pop off. And MYM actually really defending well at the moment. They're going to try and hold Ballinar in place. He's going to retrieve himself out. Ogmajai is there. In fact, all 5 heroes from MYM hitting on top. Now Puck comes back in again for round 2. And that's exactly what Navi were waiting for. They managed to bring down God. King J takes a fall. So there goes your Lich. There goes your Storm Spirit as well. Arts takes a fall. So they have managed to actually claim 3 of the Sentinel heroes back again. An instant buyback did come out from Misery. They've got 1. They've got 2. Buybacks coming out from everyone. Geometry Sight going down with Gobblack going down, so there goes Visage. He's still got his Revenants up, but they're not going to last much longer, and they will be the fallback out. Potom doing a lot of damage there with that MKB. Potom being one of the heroes left, I would say basically half untouched during that one, but big buybacks coming out from the MYM side. And, well, what did I say about them actually losing this game? They managed to defend against an Aegis Immortal, and MYM forever impressing me. So MYM, they might try and make the most of this one. Roshan is already dead, so there's no Aegis Immortal. And once again, that frickin' ulti sends us into nighttime from Arts. MYM just trying to get some sort of control back over this map. Batrider with that Geometry sight. Will easily be able to get control over absolutely anything. I'm talking wars and everything, and that looks like what they're actually checking for as well. That's why you actually see Batrider going up there. They do have a ward up there, but they want to make sure that nothing is actually being counter-warded. There's another smoker to see flying out here. MYM really enjoying this item. Batrider wants to track someone else down. So Storm Spirit looking to gank up here on the top lane. Does jump on him right now too. Chicken on top of the Clockwork Goblin. He will not escape from this one. And this is what MYM wanted to do a long, long time ago. They want to focus the heroes down. One hero down. There's 68 seconds on the sidelines now for Clockwork Goblin, making this a 4v5. And it's 42 to 42. How is this still so even? Does he have the money to buy back? It's going to be the biggest question. 1,300 gold. That is not enough. He does not have enough money to buy back. They're going to rotate themselves down, bring down the tier 2 towers. With the last tower standing up, 54 minutes into this game, the last tower standing for MYM, for Navi. MYM need to bring that one down. People want to see the Basher on top of NS. Does he actually have it just yet? Item being done, Basher now being completed. Is completely completed. Nightstalker, can he hold this for his team? 29 seconds is the window of opportunity that MYM have created for themselves. Lanes are all over the river as well. Save game has come out, 42 minutes across. I think I'm going to need a swig of Red Bull before we go for this fight. Bottom Manta pops off. Blood loss on top of bottom, even more damage coming out. Mithril Hammer on top of him. What I would love to actually see, he's possibly going BKB. I'd love to see a Deso on top of bottom now, just to rip through that armor of, or that life of Balinar. We are fighting in the daytime now, so Balinar not as strong as he could have been. MYM happy to actually just take out that hero, take out that tier 2 tower and fall themselves back. They realise they don't have a great advantage. All 5 heroes being back up from Navi. They don't want to lose anything of what they've worked so hard to get so far. Mystic Staff on top of Storm Spirit, so it looks like he's going to go, well, so far he would have just gone straight for that item, so he has the extra mana regen as well as storage capability, but the biggest thing he actually wants right now is Shiva's Guard. If he can get that, now in come BKB. It was a BKB by bottom. Going to be even harder to bring them down during the fights. Ogre Magi and Lich going on a bit of a hunting time. Looking for one hero being called out of place. Misery free farming that bottom lane right now. You can't really, actually, I can't really even say free farming. Yeah, at this point of the game, when you're a big carry, you can free farm anywhere on the map you possibly want to, apart from the mid lane. Looks like Navi want to push themselves through. Potom and Batrider falling back here. Clockwork Goblin, he's found the opening. Potom's got to leap. In fact, he's the man decided to jump himself to the other side of the cogs right now. Balinar being lassoed in. Lich wants to let off the ulti, does let off the ulti. King B has already died right now. The Storm Spirits come in. Misery finally making his way in. They want to bring down Ars. Will they bring down Ars? He is almost dead. He is dead. Balinar is dead. The opportunity for MYM now opening up. Next still pops off, keeping them alive. Stuns on top of VS from Ogre Magi, just trying to hold out all their support heroes. But we have lost 2 here from the Scourge side. Still Batrider, Lich, Ogre Magi, they're all still up right now, but we have actually lost the tier 4 towers, trying to push on top of the Frozen Throne right now. Glyph is still up the sleeve, has popped off, buying them time. Puck is still on the front lines. Batrider blinks himself in. Silence going over the top. Dendai doing whatever damage he possibly can right now too, but the Frozen Throne Glyph has worn off. They can attack it on down. Clockwork Goblin tries to stay on top. VS still retreating himself back out. Clockwork Goblin tried to actually latch himself out from there. Not enough, and just still attacking the Frozen Throne. Clockwork Goblin now still falling himself back, but Lich is there. 1 damage, 2 damage. Potom is still the only, Puck is still the only person on that front lines. Goes right over the top of King J's head. They're just trying to slow down the pressure. Force-staffing himself back inside the main base. Scourge only have 1 hero left alive, but what a thrilling end. They tried to get the last hit, but 46 to 45 was the kill count, and the game actually ends. What an end to our first game here. Farm4Fame 3.1 final. I cannot wait for the second game. MYM really fighting hard right to the end there, and they could have actually had it. They were getting the kills off, but unfortunately, there was just so much there from Navi. They pushed themselves through, had those tier 4 towers down early as well. That mid-racks really crippled them hard, and finding super seismic creeps as well as a full team who was at the same level as you. Really hard to do. Match 2, though, coming up very, very soon. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. Myself, Tobi Wan will be here for this best of 3 Farm4Fame match. How's it going to go in our second game? We'll find out soon, so stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment.